There's many different ways you can teach focus. I like to use two different ways. I like to use a toy or a treat as a distraction, and when they make eye contact with me, they are rewarded. You can use clicker to help speed things along, to mark the moment when they look at you and make eye contact. But it's pretty simple. If they won't leave the toy alone or are so focused on the treats, you can give them a leave it as well. And as soon as they look away from the distraction, you can give them a treat. You can also use this to help with name recognition, as you can have a distraction, say their name, and once they look over you, you can reward them. But when you start doing this, I recommend doing it in a low distraction environment in your house. Then once they have that down and are just really good at it, then you can get to outside, like your neighborhood or your backyard. And then from there, you can try higher distraction environments like TSC or parks that you take your dog to. But starting in a low distraction environment is essential for setting your dog up for success. And we always want to set our dogs up for success. So here I have distraction, which is his kibble that she finds motivating enough as treats. Off to the side so you can clearly tell when they're looking at the table or when they're looking at you. Good. Good. If you want to make this part harder and you're using treats, you can also substitute higher value foods like chicken or pepperoni or I don't know, some of that treat in a can stuff maybe. Now I'm going to use the toy as a distraction. And it looks over. Treat. Good. That down. Sit up. No. You can squeak it or crinkle it. Give them some noise as a distraction. And then when they look over at you, you can give them a treat. Now, if you want to make it harder on the toy end, you can start small with making no noise, maybe just moving the toy. But with the toy end, you can either give them a treat as a reward or use play as a reward. Using treats is a little easier, but using play will get some of that energy out from your dog, which I would suggest using play as a treat for higher energy dogs. Once you use play as a treat, you can also work on things such as leave it or drop it. Drop it. Good. Drop it. Good. Good. The key thing in all of this training is repetition, repetition, repetition. So doing this over and over with successes make your dog more likely to do this as a natural reaction. You'll see this when you're walking on a leash, as they will start to look at you instead of just looking forward or looking at whatever they're doing. Drop it. Done. Focus is key, obviously. If the dog is not focusing on you, they're not going to hear anything you're saying. They're not going to really listen to you, honestly. But it's definitely key when you're working with leash walking, as dogs tend to be focused on what's over here instead of focused on you right next to them. So instead of having them focus all the way over here, this focus exercise has them look up at you instead and look to you for direction, look to you for the speed you're going, look to you for what direction we're going, things like that, instead of getting hyper focused on something over here. This is also helpful for alerts, obviously, because if you miss an alert, you could be an extreme medical situation. Some alerts are not so serious, but it's better to not miss alerts in general. So focus is key for those as well. After this explanation, I will give a video with the view of the eye contact, just so you know what eye contact looks like. Looking away versus looking at you looks like. Generally, it's pretty self-explanatory, but it's better to be thorough and show you now than have you be confused later, potentially. This is the dog view, just so you can tell when eye contact is given and when it is not, and when to reward. So I am going to be using treats. They are off to the side. See, there he looks at the treats. There he looked at me. Looking at me. He's done this quite a bit, so he probably will briefly look at the treats and then look back to me. Good. You may have to start smaller with your dog. If they are too focused on the treats, you can call their name. Or you can give them a leave it command. Onyx has done this a lot due to his service dog training, which he is still in training for. You can do this when they're laying down as well. The treat is right here, off to the side. It's looking at me. Good. Good. Eye contact is essential. You can also use this in high stress environments as an emergency tool. If they are having a really hard time, they can look to you, see how you're reacting to the situation, and then respond accordingly. You can also do this with the toy. Here we have a bark box toy. You can have it over off to the side. See, he looks at it. Here, I'm gonna put it off to the side. He's mostly ignoring it. Good. Make sure to start small when you do this. You want to do things by increments to make sure you set your dog up for success and not jump into something too complicated too soon. Good. But you want to do this over and over. You can do this while you're watching TV. Do this while you're just sitting there, while you're waiting for your friend, whatever you're doing. Just so this is their reflex to focus on you instead of the distraction. This can also help in situations where it's something the dog is afraid of or any reactivity issues. Focusing on you instead can help lessen a reaction in a potential situation. For treats, you can use higher value things to be more distracting. Thank you for watching. Next week we'll be talking about alerts for repetitive behaviors such as scratching and nail picking. If you enjoyed this video, please give a like and subscribe. It's free, and you can come back later and unsubscribe if you would like. But we are trying to reach enough subscribers to monetize our channel so we can be supported from the channel, as I have a chronic health issue and cannot do regular work right now, as I have 2 ankles that are too unstable to drive and do a lot of different things on. Well, thank you for watching, and hopefully if you enjoyed this video, you'll give it a like and subscribe. Thank you.